Hey guys, what's up? It's Chaos Uchi, joined by my two fabulous guests. Why did I say desk? I'm gonna keep this in. This is a pretty funny intro. So we're joined by Josh and Riley, and we'll be going over the super rares from the set. Again, similar concept, giving them a rating out of 5. We'll start off with Chernabog. I actually don't know where he's from. Where is he? What IP is he from?
No idea.
Oh shit.
I actually don't have a clue.
Cool. We're definitely Disney fans. Smiley face. So he's a 10 cost uninkable, 9/9 that quest for free. He has 2 abilities. When you play this character, you can pay 1 less for every character in your discard. So that's how you can reduce his play cost. And then Summon the Spirits. When you play this character, shuffle all your character cards from your discard into your deck. As someone who's had
Fantasia.
I've literally had every single character card killed in my deck before by filthy Ruby Amethyst players. I definitely think this card is good to be able to put your characters back into your deck, to keep yourself being aggressive with questing. It's pretty good. This has a lot of utility in a few decks, not just like aggro. You have faster style decks, and also I think it can also be played in Still Song because you actually don't have too many characters. Even in for example, Sapphire Steel as well, you don't have that many characters, so it's actually really cool to be able to recycle them. But obviously, you're not playing. If you're playing Sapphire Steel, you can't play this card. But I mean, in Still Song, it's kind of a similar concept of especially the flutes version. Once you run out of songs, you kind of need your characters, and if you've whole new worlded them, a lot of them away, you'll probably want to use this to bring them back into the deck. Also, another thing to discuss is actually using a whole new world to purposefully put more characters in the discard. If you haven't seen a Chernabog at that point, you'll probably draw into one and potentially be able to play him for free or for a reduced cost. Out of 5, I'd actually give this as a super rare, 5 out of 5. I think this is a really strong super rare, and I don't know if it's necessarily the best, but it has a lot of fun effects, and I think it can be competitive, so that's why I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Up next is Josh, right? Yeah, Josh, you're next.
Yeah. So just before I go over Piglet, I just want to quickly say about Chernabog. The enchanted version is sick. The artwork is so cool. Right, going on to Piglet, we got a 2 cost, 2/2 stat line, 1 law as a standard. However, with the ability I am the captain now, while you have 2 or more other characters in play, this character gets +2 law. I think this is a really strong card. I think being able to get out early, great. Depending on what you do for turn 1, if you don't quest, hopefully no one then removes it. Get another card out turn 3. You can then quest for potentially 6 or more law by turn 3. It's a bit risky, but also getting out later on works really well with Rockstar Stitch as well. So there's just, I think, a lot of good capabilities here. I think it's a strong card. I'd probably rate it 4.
No, I disagree. I don't think it's that good.
I think it's alright. I think it can be pretty good with a bodyguard deck as well.
Yeah, in a bodyguard deck, yeah, it's niche. I think like this is just like about spamming the board and like playing aggro. And if you're playing aggro, you might, but I'd rather just play like 2 Pinocchios.
True. I think Pinocchio is definitely a stronger slot for this card, but this could make up for. This can definitely replace, for example, in the aggro deck. What's his name? The guy.
LeFou.
Yeah, LeFou. So like, this is almost like another Pinocchio you can potentially run, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I don't think he's terrible, but I don't think he's great. He's also a pirate, so that can come up with certain pirate synergies. But there isn't really any good pirate stuff going on yet, but except for that land. Okay, so Riley's up next with Pongo.
So we've got Pongo Determined Father. It's a 3 cost. It has Twilight Bark. That says once per turn you may pay 2 to reveal the top card of your deck. It's a character card, put it into your hand, otherwise put it into the bottom of the bottom of the deck. I think you're only ever going to use this ability if your hand's like dead. I don't know how I feel about this card. I think it's very, very mid. Like the abilities, like if it was like whenever you quest, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character put it in your hand, it'd be like strong.
Can you use his
for it?
Can you use his ability when the turn you play him? Because you don't have to exert him to do it.
No, you don't have to exert him to do it.
So you can use his ability when you play him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to pay 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
So you might, yeah. It's like I don't know. I don't really like it. I think
the only way I can see it like being decent is like like after you've been be prepared, just to be able to like start building a board again.
Yeah.
Because essentially it's like pay to draw a card, especially in like a deck, for example. I'm not saying that this is the correct by any means, but if you ran this in a Mufasa style deck, it would definitely hit a character, and essentially that's just draw a card, maybe play a 1-drop or 2-drop after if you've got nothing. Which
I think in the late game, when you have a lot of things and you desperately need to see like a maleficent dragon or a lady from Ming, and you can just pay 2 and reveal, then like I think it can have its applications in Ruby Mufasa, but then again it's also just like a gamble, which basically most of Ruby Mufasa is sometimes, to be fair.
Yeah, but, it's literally Mufasa, right?
But like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not on the card. I wouldn't play it. I think I'd probably gonna give it like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I think like 2.5 or 3 is fine for him.
Yeah.
We'll move on to covering this one now. Alice, T Alchemist. Bloody hell! This effect is like the worst. I'm not gonna say the effect's name. Can't be bothered. Exert chosen opposing character and all other opposing characters with the same name. It's okay. I mean, like
it's only good against aggro.
It could be good. It could be good against Jafar decks. To be fair.
Yeah. I guess. I think they'll already be exerted though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think. Well.
I mean, like if they have multiple shift, like not in terms of the ability to, not that they have shift Jafar out already, but they have potentially
like smaller characters. Yeah, sure.
Smaller Jafar characters out on the field. You could use Alice to, but I mean she's 6 costs, so I mean by that time I think it's already like too late. So I take that back. Alice is bad. It's a terrible card. For 6 cost, I think it's a good effect, but for 6 cost, I don't think it's good. If that makes any sense.
The thing is, you have to have it live a turn, and then exert it. And like, if your opponent does have a load of stuff, the only time they have loads of characters of the same name is in aggro decks, like a load of like Legolos or a load of Pinocchios. Or
yeah, by the time you think 6, it's just like kind of bad already.
Exactly.
In the aggro matchup. Also, if you are going to use it against the Jafar deck, like you're saying, it has to live a turn, and Jafar is purple still. And so this is definitely just going to get eaten by a long game Zeus.
Yeah, it's just like you could play so many different better things for 6 ink.
Yeah. So I'll give this card probably like a 2. I'll give it 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I can see that.
We'll move on to Genie. Josh, you're covering this.
Okay, so we've got a 4-cost Genie supportive friend. Stat line of 3/5, not bad. Bit tanky. The ability, 3 wishes. Whenever this character quests, you may shuffle this card into your deck to draw 3 cards. It's also questing for 1. Don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the ability is a bit of a gimmicky one, because you play it, you draw, you play it, it survives round, you go into the next one, you quest, great, you've quested for 1, you draw 3 cards, but you've lost a character out on the field to do that. I feel like this is kind of like a last stand sort of ability, but it just seems bad.
I mean,
In my opinion,
I think
like
for control decks, this is a good card. I think in Ruby Amethyst.
In Ruby Amethyst, this is just another basically Yzma. It's like, well, although Yzma's got the advantage of being like removal, but you only ever use it to draw 3 cards, I guess, by shuffling your rabbit in to your deck.
Yep.
The problem I have with this card is there's a certain card that's going to be in everyone's steel decks called a Long Game Zeus.
Yeah, the thing is, we keep saying that, but if people run enough cards, you're gonna run out of all your copies of a Long Game Zeus, right? So
yeah, that's
this is
It's also if you see it.
This is
Yeah,
gonna eat. No, but even if you see it or not, this is still gonna eat a Long Game Zeus first, and then your opponent will shift into Jafar, and then you might not have your Long Game Zeus to answer that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. The thing is, like, it depends, because if this isn't in like a Jafar deck, like a whole new wheel Jafar combo deck, like this probably will be put into an Amethyst Steel Jafar deck because it's just like draw 3 cards and gain 3 lore, which is nice.
Yeah, I think
But,
I think it will be for that reason. I don't know if it's a 4-off, but I can see like people definitely at least testing it in the beginning, because it's that 5 health is still quite a lot as well.
I think in Ruby Amethyst, like that matchup, like in any deck, is just all about who's got the best card advantage in hand. And if I see this thing come out and I have an Long Game Zeus in my hand, I'm using it on this every time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not letting my opponent draw 3 cards.
Yeah, I think it's okay. So Josh, what would you give this a rating out of 5?
Purely because I don't really know how effective it will be for me or for my opponent, I'll just give it 3. I think that's a safe ranking for now.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. The thing is, if you shuffle it into your deck and draw it, that's kind of annoying.
True. Riley, you're covering this one.
Okay, so we got Magicka Dispel, the Midas Touch.
Yeah, the Midas
Shift
Touch.
5. You can pay 5 to play on top of your one of your characters named Magicka Dispel. It's got an ability called All Mine, so whenever this character quests, you gain lore equal to the cost of one of your items in play. This card is... I don't like it. It's not very good.
I mean,
in my opinion.
it's only good with a Magic Dime, right? The Lucky Dime card.
It works with the Lucky Dime, and like you can quest for free with like the Fishbone Quill, I guess, which is like the only item that you'll probably really have out a lot of the time.
Yep.
But yeah.
I mean, you could have Lore Book out, Spell Book out. Sorry, if you're playing Amethyst.
Yeah, it's gonna max like. If you want this thing to be efficient, it'll probably just mainly be questing for like 3 lore.
The problem is, I think the problem we're finding with a lot of these cards, obviously this one is a little bit less of that problem, but it has the liver turn, right? And then on top of that, I mean, you can shift 5 into this card, but it's probably gonna just do it once.
And the problem with the shift 5 is all of the Magicka Dispel cards are bad. Like all of the things that you can shift onto with this aren't that good. And it's like you don't really want to play those. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not on this at all.
If you could give it a rating, what would it be?
Probably a 1.
1. Cool. We'll move on to Helga Sinclair, aka Mummy. She can shift for free. She has the ability. This changes everything. Whenever this character quests, you may deal 3 damage to a chosen damaged character. Not bad. I can see this being... Actually, I don't think this is bad. I don't hate it. I think it could be a good part of a Emerald Steel deck, because you can ping everything with Tinkerbell, and then potentially, do an extra 3 damage to a card. I don't hate it. I think it's okay. I'll probably give it a 3 point, because of the art and it's a mummy. It can get 3.5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I think it just kills most things that are already damaged.
Yep.
It's just like, yeah, pretty strong.
I think a strong thing for it is when it's quests, so you're not like paying anything additional, and then you're questing for 2, taking out a character seems pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh wanted to cover this card specifically. So
Okay.
I'm letting him cover it.
All right. Probably gonna get the name wrong, but Lyle Tiberius Rourke.
Yeah.
3 cost, not inkable. It's really his ability, which I think is the key one. Now you know. That's all right. Obviously, it gives your opponent reckless, a quicker John Silver in that sense, but it is only when you play the character. It's the thanks for volunteering ability. Whenever one of your other characters is banished, each opponent loses a law. I think, providing that this card can stand active and never goes for law, never really targets anything else. And if you put this in a location like Cusco's Palace, for instance, where it's then got, even if it's swung into, it can then the opponent's one is banished as well. I just think this can combo with a lot of other cards and really be useful for a green deck.
I think Josh really likes making the most annoying deck to ever play against, and this is definitely like a card of that variety. I hate John Silver; pisses me off. I'm definitely probably gonna hate this card too.
I think it's just
Bro,
if you give this thing resist,
Yeah.
it's really good.
This card's got me
If you
looking
give-
at Ursula different, you know. This card's making Ursula looking like a 10 out of 10, bro. I want to sing a Storm Rage on, double ping this and draw 2 cards, bro. That's what I want to do.
You just kill this first, right? Like if you really think it's going to be a problem, you just kill it first, and then you just focus on everything else.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I don't know, how much does the Long King Booth cost again? Like 4?
Yeah, 4.
You can just do that. Obviously, it's a waste of. I think it's a bit of a waste using it on this character, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like he's just more to control the board, I guess. But I think his effect isn't busted. It's just like,
Yeah, no, I think it's balanced. But I think him and the legendary Robin, the steel one, will work quite nicely hand in hand. Obviously, gain 2 law from Robin, also gain another one from this. Oh well, depending if he's banished, draw a card also and get another law.
Yeah, you won't get another law. Your opponent will lose one.
Oh yeah, sorry, but still, it's that kind of more balancing system to it. I do like how in set 1 they released the Shift Aladdin, which was easily one of the strongest red cards back then, and ever since they've weakened down those effects for future cards.
Yeah, I mean they made the Lady Tremaine that did the same thing in set 2, but I think because it was uninkable, no one really ran it. But yeah, what would you give this out of 5, basically?
I'm gonna give this a 4. Piglet's gonna go down. Piglet's gonna get a 3. I'm gonna give this a 4.
a 4. That's wild.
I wouldn't give this a 4. I'd give it like a.
I'd give like 2.
No, I think I'll probably give it 2.5. I'm middle of the road. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's. No, I don't think it's bad.
Awful. I think
I think it's annoying. That's the key thing. People want to deal with it because it's annoying, and I think that'll benefit.
That Josh doesn't win by by normal means. Josh is playing.
I win by pack tactics.
No, he's doing psychological warfare on his opponent.
I think sometimes on turn 3 you don't really unless you don't really quest for a lot by turn 3 anyway when you get this thing out.
Yeah.
So you probably want to play it later on.
I was gonna say, I definitely don't play it turn 3. If I can shift something else on turn 3, I'm gonna do that. This is a later on when if I can spam out a few cards at once, this will be one of them. Whilst I've got other things on the board which are quite large, dealing damage elsewhere. So
I didn't realise that it's just whenever one of your characters back. I think actually reading it again, it's actually not too bad because if you're behind and you need to sort of catch up, you can start trading your characters into your opponent's characters and making them lose laws so they don't win next turn.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice.
I think this is actually I think it's a 3, at least.
Yeah, I think it's like a 3. It's definitely not a 4. Sorry.
Okay, so we'll move on to Shenzi ?
Yeah, hyena pack leader. So it has an ability called I Will Do It. So it says when this character is at location, she gets +3, and then it has an ability that says "What's the hurry?" It says when this character is at location, and she challenges another character, you may draw a card. It's too gimmicky for me. I don't think it's good, in my opinion.
I also agree. In terms of rating, what would it be on?
Probably a 1.
Cool. I think that's fair.
Yep.
Move on to my wife, Ariel. I really like the artwork of this card. There's a lot of meme material going on. There's a shark literally trying to bite Ariel's butt cheeks. There's a flounder literally making the pog face. I also hate that my wife is in Ruby. What's going on? This should be an amber card. It has evasive, which is good. Always annoying to deal with. Inspiring voice. Whenever you play a song, chosen character of yours gains evasive until the start of the next turn. That's pretty decent. You can make another character evasive. It's okay. I would probably give it like a 2 out of 5. Just because you potentially use Ariel to give like a Maui evasive, and then clap pretty much any evasive character in the game. But that's it. Other than that, I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
We have Madame Medusa. If Josh wants to take this.
Yep. So Madame Medusa, 4/4. Okay. 1 law. The ability That Terrible Woman. When you play this character, banish chosen opposing character with 3 damage or less, and it's 6 uninkable. I think this card is trash when you compare it to Lady Tremaine, who is also a 6-cost red uninkable. So yeah, I don't think I have much more to say when you've got a better card already out there.
In terms of a rating, what would you give her?
I feel like generously maybe a 1.52. It's obviously not bad, but there's just a better card already out there.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
I think the difference is that with this card, you don't give your opponent the choice, and although it is limited to 3 power or less, there are a lot of strong cards that are 3 power or less that you can just get rid of, like bodyguards and stuff, for example. You don't have to worry of running over them, or like evasive characters.
I still think
you can get rid of an evasive mini.
I still think Lady Tremaine is just better. Like
It'll just gets on board
even for questing power. Like Ruby Amethyst don't really need to be questing for quite a long time, and suddenly they just play this barrage of Lady Tremaines and Yzmas after they whole new world you. Be prepared you, and then they just start questing for 2 each time with those characters. Whereas this only like if this could quest for 2, it'd be way better. But like I just don't think it will see play at all, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see it really faster.
Oh yeah, okay. For increasing the amount that you would like to play off of Ruby Mufasa, yeah, I can see that. But other than that, that's still just like one archetype, right?
We got Prince Eric, X-Bit Helmsman. He's got a surprise maneuver, so when this character is banished, you may banish the character. This card's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. I think it's amazing. It's like one of the best cards. One of the best super rares in my opinion. This card's really good.
Yep, I also agree.
You just keep questing for 2 with it. You don't even you just keep questing for 2 with it. And if they answer it, you just choose their best character and get rid of it.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. It is definitely annoying. It's giving Cusco kind of energy, but you can't even play around it because
you just keep questing for 2.
Yeah.
And then they have to put it in your inkwell or bounce it to your hand, and then you just play it again. It's like it's so much pressure.
Yeah, I
Like
think so.
you don't, and if you really need to deal with something, you can just trade it in. You can just trade it into something, and if you can somehow kill the thing you trade into whilst trading with it, you just go one card to their card. It's like brilliant, really good card.
In terms of a rating,
Like 5 probably.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I think this will be a new staple for Ruby. We're gonna cover Sapphire now. So we got Scrooge McDuck, the richest duck in the world. He has 2 abilities. The first is I'm going home. During your turn, this character gains evasive. Okay, and then second ability, I didn't get rich by being stupid. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play an item for free. So we have Capitalist Duck. He's okay. Like, the stat line is like, I think this is the stat line that's so pretty bad for me. Because like they made him able to kill evasive characters, and they made him able to play these expensive items for free when he challenges another character.
You can play Lucky Dime.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're playing Scepter of Arendelle, I literally don't really see how you're really challenging heavily with Scrooge. So
It kills Surf Mini.
yeah,
Like
that's
but
okay.
there's things that
Yeah,
do
but
that for cheaper.
that's not like okay, it kills Surfer Mini, but like, did you really care?
Yeah, and like I said, like I was saying, like a lot of things can do that for cheaper.
Yeah, can't Cruella de Vil do it? That's in the same color, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And like, what items are you actually playing for free with this? Like Quill, but Titan 5, like you can't even shift with this. You already have this Quill out.
yeah, I don't think this is that great.
Or you can play a Popsicle, but that's only cost 1 anyway.
I think this is a card that can get stronger over time, but in this set, if I have to give it a rating based on this set, I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 5. But in terms of but I will give it a separate rating. In terms of potential as a seal for its ceiling, as new sets come out, I can see this being like a lot stronger. So I'll probably just give it like a 3 out of 5 overall, just because the more expensive items come out, the more this becomes viable as a deck choice.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think so. I can see that.
Joshua next.
Yep, so we've got another Tinkerbell. 5 costs, 3/4 stat line, questing for 2. Her ability, I can use that. Whenever one of your items is banished, you may put that card into your inkwell, face down and exerted. I think it's not bad. It's not bad at all, really.
I just have one question. I have one question.
Go on.
Why the fuck does this not have evasive and Jafar does?
Good question. Don't know. But I think it's good for ramp, but because it's a 5 cost, it's also very close to the 6 cost Tinkerbell, which is popping off.
Yeah, I mean, like, the 6 cost Tinkerbell, right? It's just obviously 1 cost more. Has a much better stat line. Has a much better ability. It has 2 abilities. And it's quest for 2 also. So if you're comparing it to that, I definitely don't think this is near as strong as
No. It's like the only time I can see this ability being like okay is if you really need to ramp and you happen to have like 2 or 3 Popsicles on the field. But like even then, if you're playing Popsicles, you want to play like the Nick Wild and stuff to like recycle them and stuff. And if you can't really recycle them if they're in your inkwell.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's sort of just like not really got much synergy in that sense. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you banish your own Popsicles with like Hiram, right? So, but like other than that, I just don't think it's. I just think it's cute. I just don't think it's playable. In terms of a rating, Josh, where are you putting it?
Probably I want to say 2.5.
Cool. Yeah. think I can see that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably put it 2. I don't think I'd give it 2.5.
Yeah. I think
I'm just a fan of Tinkerbell. That's why I was like as a character, but yeah.
Yeah.
Riley, you're up.
So we got Wendy Darling, Authority on Peter Pan. Ward, this opponents can't choose this character except Carmen, and it's got support. So whenever this character quests, you may add their power to another current character's power this soon. This thing is just going to die as soon as it quests. Like, you're basically just paying 3 to give something plus 3 for all the next turn.
Yeah, it has the same stat line as Phil, which is a 2 cost from set 1. The only difference is it has Ward, which I guess will stop it from being popped immediately. But other than that, I don't really. I mean, actually, I can see a line with this where you play Popsicle turn 1, turn 2 play Grand Matala, turn 3 play this, and then make Grand Matala a 4/1. Use it to kill something, and then put Grand Matala into Inkwell. I think that's okay. I don't think that's a bad play. Actually, yeah, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's C play just because of Grand Matala.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that it's a 3/1.
It also makes like your ramp make you sit on the field, kind of doing nothing for a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Because like its worst thing is basically is steel, right? But because it has ward, it can only be swords. And if this is the only thing that's out, it's kind of a waste for your opponent to use swords. Or if they only have like, Grand Matala plus this or whatever. I get what you're saying. As soon as it turns sideways, it's dying. But also, to be honest, at that point in the game, unless it's the Prince Bodyguard, I don't really see what else is swinging into it that's surviving as well.
The thing is, it's just like a better trade. So like, if I have the 1 cost Olaf, the 1 cost Good Rider, the 1 cost Tiana,
oh yeah. Those I get.
You just swing them into this, and you've just like traded a 3 cost for a 1 cost.
Yeah, but potentially they've also traded a Grand Matala into your, I don't know, Simba or Bodyguard or whatever, and then also have ramped 1 and gained 2 lore. So I mean, my biggest problem is its cost being free, because that's the turn you ideally want to fishbone.
Yeah, like if it was a 2 cost, it'd probably be a little better.
If it was 2 costs, I think it'd be really strong.
They've already had 2 costs with the ward and those 2 lore though. Like look at the Zootopia guy, the one that you really dislike me playing, husband.
The Duke Wesselton.
Yes. Like there are cards like that already exist, which are great for turn 2 and are a pain in the ass to deal with. I think this is just an additional pain.
It just gets run over. That's my problem. Like,
once it goes sideways, it's dead. Like 100%.
Yeah.
But you are more or less guaranteed 2 lore.
Yeah, it's just like, why would I pay 3 for 2 lore when I could just play something else that's going to stick around longer?
I agree with both arguments. I think it's going to depend on the meta as well.
I don't know. I'd personally give this a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
But I think you both were a little higher.
Yeah, I'm not like that much higher. I'm probably more like on a 2.5.
Probably on a 3, just because I can see some things.
I can
see this being used most.
For example, if there was like a bodyguard deck that pops off, like we've been looking at and stuff, like this will help swing over like annoying things in the early game. If that makes sense. Like, I'm pretty sure this, like, it depends on what you play as your 1 or 2 drop, but you could probably make something big enough to kill like a Prince Bodyguard, which is pretty big for me, because that is quite annoying to deal with. But yeah, no, I get that it is just, in terms of value coming back, it isn't it's not too bad. But also as a late game threat, it's also not too bad as well, because like after Be Prepared, it's kind of okay to play it down as a wood character.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely weird.
Yeah.
We'll move on. It shouldn't be a super rare. It feels like more of a rare to me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Next up is Little John. He's a 6-cost inkable resourceful outlaw. Shift 4. So we do have some more Little Johns in this set. He has the ability. Okay, big shot. That's literally something I would say. So I'm glad that that's his ability's name. While this character is exerted, your characters will bodyguard and resist gain. So they gain resist +1 and they gain an extra law. So this allows you to be quite aggressive with your bodyguards that normally, like for example Simba only usually quests for 1, or in color now you have Kida that only quests for 1 also, so you can like start questing a bit more aggressively. You also have the bodyguard prince that can now quest for 3 and then get resist
Yeah,
+2.
that's enough in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
I
good.
agree. I think this is actually quite a meta-defining card. I think this potentially is so powerful that, like we're talking about, potentially a bodyguards deck becoming meta relevant. At least it will be a tier 2 deck in my opinion, based on the cards we've seen. I will probably give this card as an individual card because it's kind of locked into an archetype. I'd probably give it a 3.5 just because it's locked into an archetype. But in terms of how the role it plays within that deck, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think this can make like bodyguards into a deck and makes them into quite an aggressive like questing deck that can also, because you're in steel, have some answers to like in terms of removal, and you can just also just play like big characters and stuff obviously. But like my only issue with this card is that it is not a bodyguard.
Yes, that is annoying. And also you have to shift on top of a bodyguard, probably to use his effect. So you're losing a bodyguard potentially to play him. But I mean, there's some janky stuff. Like I know people don't like Pluto, but I think Pluto is going to be a very interesting card into this set. And also like things like lanterns and Zero to Hero that can potentially help cheat some of this stuff out earlier, so you're playing a more aggressive curve in terms of questing. So I think with that and a little bit of playing around, we can see some this card seeing like play quite heavily.
I think like it's just, again, this card also like lives or dies on how popular Along King Zeus is as well.
Yep.
Because if this got given resist +1 as well, it'd be so fine. 'Cause if they try and kill it, it's like cool, it still lives, sort of thing. But the fact that this can just die and then they just like grab your swords or something and just like hit a lot of your board can be rough. But like then again, well, no.
I mean, they knew what they were doing when they made Along Came Zeus. They literally made it an enchanted card, right?
Yeah.
So like they know that that's going to be quite a strong meta-defining card. But like I said earlier, you know, unless you're like you literally can only have 4 copies of Along Came Zeus. You can only use it 4 times, so you just keep checking your opponent's discard. You kind of want them to use it, right? And then you can just like, this could be bait for making them use it, and then you just play another one or something else quite strong on turn 5. Like you can play Emo Beast, like you could shift on this on turn 4. They use Along Came Zeus, then you play Emo Beast, and also that's only still decks that are going to be a problem for him. I think this card will piss off a lot of Amethyst. Ruby Amethyst players because you can get into it early enough for it to start being a problem for them.
Yeah, it's just good. It's quite good against steel decks as well. If you can get 2 of these out on the board.
Oh yeah. No, it's
It is so difficult for Steel to deal with if you can get 2 of these out.
Is there any
Right.
effects that like make other characters bodyguards, or not yet?
No, I don't think there is. Like, there's just, yeah, if you can make that bodyguard, be great. You can also just put mouse armor on it though. So.
True, yeah, well, that's true. Josh, this your card to talk over.
Yep, so we've got the Sheriff of Nottingham, Corrupt Official, a 4-cost not inkable, 2/4 stat line, questing for 1. The ability Taxes Should Hurt. Whenever you discard a card, you may deal 1 damage to chosen opposing character. Now, this card is interesting because we've already seen the potential combos for it, like tagging this with the location, the Bayou. So with Bayou, whenever a character quests while here, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So link that with this, you're dealing 1 damage to a character. Also, if you then have the legendary Beast Relentless from set 2 out, you've got the ability to just restand the Beast again. So we've seen already quite a lot of synergy with this card and existing cards, and obviously
I think the only problem is that Beast Relentless has always been kind of a meme, and I think it will remain a meme for a while, because this also doesn't have a great stat line necessarily in terms of like this can definitely be killed pretty early, and also like I just don't know. I don't really see a world where you have this this card, a location, and Relentless Beast out all at the same time.
I did hear something about this combo being like able to consistently be put out. It just depends against what your matchup is, because some matchups will just look at what you're trying to do and just go okay and just kill something, and then the combo doesn't work. Whereas some matchups will look at it and be like, oh shit, I can't really do anything about this. And then as soon as you have that loop going, unless they have some form of removal, you've just won the game. Because no matter what they play out, you will just quest for 2, kill, ping something, quest for 2, ping something, quest for 2, and just clear their board and potentially win the game at the same time. Like, it's very niche, but like there are matchups where they cannot deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you actually no, I guess so. It can be an infinite combo for sure, which is kind of cringe. But yeah, if your opponent's not expecting it, I can see it. But the Bayou is also only 3 health, so it's probably just gonna get swung into pretty early, because it doesn't do any damage to your opponent characters. So you can just, it's just a free swing into it, right? Potentially. So I don't know. We'll have to see, really.
I think if you play out the Bayou last, so you play that last, and then like you can just clear your opponent's board. Say they've got like 3 characters with 3 willpower out each.
But then like what you're gonna play? You're gonna play Sheriff of Nottingham out turn 4, Beast out on turn 6, and then you have to wait till turn 7 to play the Bayou, and then your opponent just be prepared.
Well, how much does the Bayou cost? Like
it costs 1.
Yeah, so if you have that, you can like turn 4 this, turn 5 Beast, turn 6 Bayou, put it in the Bayou.
Oh no, Beast is 6 cost.
Beast is a 6 cost?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That does make it a little bit more difficult.
And they can't shift, so it's just gonna get. I'd still feel like Ruby Amethyst will see a lot of popularity from even in this set. And I just don't think it's a cute combo, and it's kind of cringe that it's an infinite loop. But yeah, no, I mean it being an infinite loop is actually really cringe. Actually, no.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those things where if if you can get the loop going, then
I mean it will just curb stomp potentially like aggro decks if they can't find like Madam Mim Fox.
all you need is 3 characters with 3 toughness, with 3 willpower, and this loop to get 18 bluff. So it's like, yeah, it's just a stupid combo, to be honest.
But then also, yeah, like, your opponent's stuff is probably going to die at a certain point. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see, but it is pretty strong.
It facilitates an infinite combo.
Yeah.
Like, that's strong. And it's just like, there's certain cards that this can, like, help, like, certain matchups, I guess. But it's like, also Giant Tinkerbell just spreads out 1 damage to everything as well. So it's just like,
Oh, the beast has to
Yeah.
survive a turn now. And in every scenario, beast has to survive a turn out. And
yeah,
and now steel decks can do 5 damage to the beast with one song. On that turn,
this,
if you've only got sheriff and beast out, playing Lady Tremaine just instantly claps one part of the combo.
yeah,
Maui can kill either the land or there's a lot of things that can disturb this combo. I'm not saying that it's that hard to pull off, but yeah, I mean it's like it reminds me of the aerial OTK deck with items.
yeah,
and I just feel like it might just be I don't forget that a lot of decks have also gotten stronger with this set as well. So there's a lot more answers now to something like this. If this came out in set 2, I think it'd be a lot stronger than it is going into set 3, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like, I think it's not only just that combo, but this card does have little nice interactions, like the 1-cost Simba, draw and discard a card, ping something for 1, which is nice. A whole new wield if you discard if you have a lot of cards that you don't like, you can just convert those cards into damage to kill things and then draw 7, which is kind of nice.
It kind of reminds me of Chief Bogo a little bit.
Yeah.
But even though that card was good, I don't know if you're gonna have space in normal decks. I think this will probably mostly be played in decks that are running the Relentless Beast.
Yeah, in like gimmicky decks.
But no, I think it could probably see meta as well. I'm just not entirely sure.
It also works. Yeah, for me, like the 3 main things, like the draw discard Cinder, the
draw discard Cinderella as well.
Yeah, the draw discard Cinderella, the strike a good map song that draws 2 and discards 1.
Yeah, you have Tinkerbell as well, the 3-cost one that you can use to draw and discard. So you can have like a whole draw and discard curve and then you play this turn 4, potentially be able to do 2 damage to something. But I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sold on it until I see like a bit more. But yeah,
I can see it being good in blue steel actually. If you look at if your opponent's got a full hand of cards and you've got a full hand of cards, but they're kind of bad, you can nothing to hide, look at their hands, see if it's worth doing, and you go, yeah, my hand's not good enough against this hand, whole new wield, and then you just like kill off their board with like 5 or 6 damage and then draw a fresh 7.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Do you think you can spread the damage? So you get to go 1, then 1, then 1, then 1, then 1. And pick which characters you put
1 damage to choose an opposing character, or you can just kill one thing.
I was a bit crap though if your opponent has characters with the resist, because then it's not doing anything.
True.
Yeah.
Also true.
Yeah,
also
that's true.
Also true. Okay, what are you gonna give this as a score, Josh?
I'm gonna give it a 2. I think it has potential, but whether it'll be used and whether it'll be meta or not, that's a completely different question.
I think you can put it a little bit higher. I think like maybe 3 is like where it's at.
Yeah, now. I think it was. I was thinking 3. It's like if there's a lot of good cards that make you discard cards, but this card can come up. But like, it's just something cool and stuff as well. So it's just like
Yeah. We'll move on to the last card. Riley, you can take over.
So this is Simba Fighting Prince. He has an ability called Submit or Fight, and he says when you play this character, and whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge during your turn, choose one. You may draw 2 cards, then choose to discard 2 cards, or you may deal 2 damage to choosing character. I think for the stat line, this card's okay. It's decent. Like, he can kill most things and survive, and then you just get to draw 2 cards and get rid of the 2 risk cards that you hand, or you can just kill something else in an aggro matchup. Like, yeah, this card's pretty solid. Like, it's not amazing. Like, 7 cost is quite high, but it's pretty good. If it was a shift, it would be way better.
If this was shift, it would just be like a better Robin Hood, probably.
Yeah.
In terms of a score, where you placing it?
Like a 3, I think.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like decent.
I think maybe a little bit lower for me. I think like maybe 2. I just don't think it's gonna see play. That's all.
Yeah. The problem is like this unless you're against like Ruby and they can like play out a molesting dragon or something like that. This will most likely stick around a turn, and you can use it to kill most things and draw 2 cards, which is nice.
Well, you don't get to keep the 2 cards though. That's what the problem is, I think.
Yeah, but like if your hand's like not very good, you can just draw 2 and then pitch the 2 bad cards at your hand.
I think when you're at 7 ink, you unless you've whole new worlded, which I don't really see this deck necessarily being in that type of style of deck, just because there's better characters and like, for example, for 7, right? Like, you have Cinderella Stout-Hearted, which I think is just better than this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think like having resist 2 is just being a 5/5 resist 2 is good with. Yeah, this card, I think if it was cheaper, it'd be better.
Yeah, if it had shift, it
Like
would be
if it was-
great. Like, honestly, if it had shift, it would be on.
If it was a shift or like a 5 or 6 cost, it'd be so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably like a 2.5 or like a 3,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Maybe 2.5.
Well, he's also like a prince, so potentially if there's more support for that archetype, then he could be even better. But until then, I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. I think the cost is just putting me off him. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, it's just expensive.
You don't want to play like into control matches. You don't really want to play one big character out, because then you're just gonna Hades or Lady Tremaine or yeah, and it's just
like ease them or shuffle it in.
exactly.
It's just like, yeah.
And I just feel like unless you've whole new worlded, you're not going to have a lot of cards to play out this time. And I think when you're at that type of 7 cost thing, I'm assuming you've already been prepared. You probably want to be playing out 2 characters in your turn instead of just this on its own.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the end of our rant of the new Super S from this set into the Inklands. What do you guys think overall about the SRs from this set?
There's a lot of really good ones, and there's also a lot of really bad ones.
Yeah, I think in comparison to the legendaries, I think they've spread out I feel like the SRs were better in set 2 than the legendaries overall, and I feel like in this set they've kind of moved the power level around a bit more.
There are some really good ones, like I think the best ones are Prince Eric, the Genie,
Sure.
Helga Sinclair, and Shayna Robb for me.
Yeah, Little John too.
Little John's pretty
potentially
as well.
Sheriff of Nottingham in the right deck. Yeah, now there is some cool stuff going on. And also we don't know how good some of these cards get as like later sets go on as well. So
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that's basically our review of these super rares. Thank you guys for watching this video. And yeah, have a good set 3 launch. We hope you get whatever you want to pull. And thanks for watching. Bye.